working on your health and wellness, working on your nutrition, your sleep, your exercise are keys to foundation of overall health, but not only that, to your emotional state, to help you think clearly, to help you navigate through times of anxiety or depression so that you do not get stuck in a rut.
Transmission received. Authorization granted. Welcome to the video.
What's up, dreamers? Hope you're having a fantastic day or had a fantastic day, depending on where you are in the world. And I have to let you know that you, are awesome. Welcome to Driving and Vibing. Anyway, what's the vibe? What's the vibe for today? I want to talk about anxiety and depression. I want to talk about emotions, things you can do to kind of combat those, things that might drive that, and drive it as in kind of in, push those forward or make you feel more anxious or a little bit more depressed. And kind of want to talk about that. I feel like this should be a topic that's talked about. People should. It is okay to have these feelings. It is okay to talk to friends, to family. It's okay to talk to professionals. I have to say that I am currently enrolled in, I have a couple of degrees, but I'm enrolled in college to get my degree in psychology. Not because I want to be a therapist, but there's nothing wrong with therapists. I think that is a very powerful tool, but so that I can kind of understand a little better how the mind works and how to kind of help people move through that, navigate through that. I did go see a therapist when I was younger. I would never knock on it. There's a bad stigma around it. I think that should, over the coming years, I think that will go away. It's starting to, because talking to somebody, a professional, a therapist or not, a professional, is a very, very powerful tool to help you get out of a slump, we'll say. Get past those emotions, figure out how to deal with those. That's kind of something I kind of want to do as well, but that's a broad statement. And it is okay to talk to people, okay? And a lot of times you could talk to people. I don't think people really understand the power of communication. You could talk to somebody, anybody. It could be a family member, a friend, and your significant other, your dog, your cat, right? Even if they don't respond, just the act of getting things off your chest is a very powerful tool to help you kind of, cope or get over those feelings, or help kind of figure out how to navigate through those feelings. An example is, I'm gonna go ahead and say in story time. We need some music. I need like a soundboard. Beep. Story time. When I was younger, I had anxiety and depression, and this happens periodically. Still go through very, very small times of this, right? But I wasn't overall. If you watch my last videos, I wasn't very optimistic. The world was out to get me, but I was ridden with anxiety and depression, anger. That's kind of why I went to therapy. But I never talked to anybody, nobody at all. I never told anybody what was on my mind, what was bothering me. And it built up, and that's likely where the anger came from, right? And the outbursts, whatever else. And it would, in turn, push the anxiety further and push the depression further, because I wasn't really talking about it. And when you're going through all these things in your head, it's a little different. And it's harder to kind of analyze it, we'll say, to kind of sort through it and figure out exactly what could be done about it to help yourself. It's a little harder to do that as opposed to actually saying it out loud, whether it is to somebody else, to a professional, or to your best friend, cat, or dog. Seriously, this is no joke. This has been proven time and time again. So just saying, there's times where, after I started talking to mainly my wife now, who was my girlfriend at the time, I started really talking to her and talking through some of this stuff. I realized that, now that I'm saying it out loud, I realize I can do this to help with that, or I can do that to help with that. And I wouldn't have thought about it that way had I not actually said the words, said the statement, told her that those feelings out loud. The act of saying it, she didn't even have to respond for me to really kind of realize that. But then most times the responses are pretty helpful, so long as you're open to accepting those responses. You have to kind of have an open mind as well. Do you have to agree with what everybody says? No. Do you have to agree with your friends, family? No. Do you have to agree with your pets meowing or barking at you? No. Do you have to agree with a professional if you were to go see a professional? No. There's some things that my therapist told me that I didn't agree with, but at the time, of course. But now thinking back on it, you know, I probably do agree with it more than I did back then. So you don't have to agree, but it's with everything. But 9 times out of 10, what they have, they have insightful information or advice, we'll say, not information, insightful advice to kind of help you through the time you're going through. And there is nothing wrong with talking. There's a bad stigma around talking to people, especially professionals. And I feel like because of how powerful of a tool talking to somebody is, and just communication in general, that, you know, the stigma needs to kind of be wiped away, and we need to start with a clean slate and bring that back. Start talking to people, get things off our chest. And I feel like anxiety and depression and those kind of emotions would kind of, you know, be a lot less now, like with all the talking, for exactly the reasons I just said. Again, there are times, so like now, we'll talk about now, I'm a very optimistic human being. I'm generally happy. I exercise, I try to eat healthy, and I feel overall better, happier, significantly less anxiety, significantly less times of feelings of depression or any emotions like that. And but it still happens sometimes. Okay, it's normal, like human emotions. Okay, so don't be distraught if you are, you know, if you have a month where you're you know, good to go, and then you have one day. Don't feel like it's a setback, because it's really not. It's natural. Speaking of doing exercise, eating proper nutrition to help fuel your body and keep you healthy, and sleeping well, the foundations of health and wellness, those will help with your mind and your overall mood. This is statistically proven. This is scientifically proven over and over and over and over and over again. Anecdotally, I've given you several stories just now, or a long story, I guess, about how it has helped me. It can, eating healthy, exercising can help reduce inflammation of the gut. Gut kind of like controls everything. That's really starting to come out in science now, and that's being backed up by research. Reducing the inflammation in your body and your gut, doing exercise, keeping your heart healthy, all of this, sleeping well, reducing the tiredness, all of these help with these emotions, help to combat and not only combat, but help for you to maneuver through these emotions, so that you do not get stuck in ruts. Could I have stuttered any more right there? Could I have said words poorly any more than I just did? Holy moly. Working on your health and wellness, working on your nutrition, your sleep, your exercise are keys to foundation of overall health, but not only that, to your emotional state, to help you think clearly, to help you navigate through times of anxiety or depression, so that you do not get stuck in a rut. That's what I wanted to say. Right? So with that, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's my little tidbit on, emotional wellness, and talking to people is okay. No bad stigma here, okay? Let's try to push the word on that. Tell all our friends and family, our cats and our dogs. If you like what you heard in this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Greatly helps out the channel. Tell your friends, your fellow gamers. I would love for them to hear this as well. If you have any tips or tricks that you use yourself, I would love to hear about them. Let me know in the comments. Maybe I can use them in my life. And yeah, okay. Hope to see you and your pets, of course, in the next video. Later, dreamers.